Joanna, it's really, really exciting to actually look at my paternal line and see sort of how far back in time and geography we can go with this. But if you don't have a Y chromosome, then how could you ever look at your paternal lineage?
Yeah, and many women are interested in exactly that same thing, even though we don't have Y chromosomes. So, but there is a way to trace your paternal line, even if you don't have a Y chromosome, and that is to find someone who has your father's Y chromosome. My father passed away years ago, so he wasn't available for testing. But my uncle kindly agreed to get tested, and so I was able to learn about my paternal line through him. And other possibilities if I had had a brother, if my paternal grandfather had been alive. So there are a number of relatives who can help a woman trace her paternal line. Okay, Matt, so we see here that you and your dad have a paternal lineage called I1, actually I1 star, and we see from the map that it's very, very frequent in Northern Europe, particularly in Scandinavia. And I don't know if you are aware of any Scandinavian ancestry on your dad's side, but this is suggesting that if you go far enough back on your dad's side, you might find that you have an ancestor who lives in Scandinavia.
Now this fits with the autosomal ancestry pattern that we saw for me, right, where it said I had a strong Northern European
That's right.
descent.
Yes. So this is just reinforcing that information that we've seen.
And it says over here that age is 28,000 years. What does that mean exactly?
So this lineage, like all the haplogroups, are defined by a particular mutation that happened a long time ago. And in this case, 28,000 years ago, a mutation happened on the Y chromosome, and it's the defining, and then everybody who inherited that particular Y chromosome also inherited that mutation. And so for the last 28,000 years, men and their sons have carried that particular mutation, and you were part of that kind of clan
I see.
Of males with this particular lineage.
So this means that in this region here, somewhere in this region is where that mutation happened about 28,000 years ago?
We don't know for sure where it happened, but because it's most frequent in this general region now, we speculate that it was probably in that general area, very far north in Europe.
Now let's take a look at, let's go back to Roy King.
Roy King and his father, Roy King Sr., both have a lineage that is fairly common in Jewish men, and that fits with Roy's understanding that his father's father was Jewish. So we're really seeing his grandfather right there in the DNA of the Y chromosome. So to go a little deeper, let's click on the History tab and move away from the map. And this is an overall, story about the history of this lineage J2, and it mentions the branches of this J2 haplogroup spreading with the Jewish diaspora from the Middle East across Europe. So this is just all this information comes from studies of people who currently carry the J2 lineage around the world. And so many scientists have conducted studies and they've published papers, and then this story is drawn from those publications.